Tuesday, September 16th. Aunt Olivia had a surprise for us after school, and it didn't have anything to do with cats. It was a new cookie recipe. We put on some music and danced around the kitchen, talking and laughing and having a great bake break. That's what Aunt Olivia calls it. We made raspberry macaroons with chocolate cream filling. I called them macro-amazing. I was eating my third cookie when Crescent nudged my hand and looked at me with his big brown eyes, begging for a taste. I had to tell him no. Dogs can get sick from chocolate. That's when I had an idea. Dog cookies. We could have a great bake break. Just for Crescent. Lots of foods are poisonous to dogs, like grapes, raisins, onions, garlic, macadamia nuts, and avocados. Holly said she'd rather do homework than make dog food, so she left. But Aunt Olivia was happy to help me search online for a recipe. There were so many. We finally chose one made with canned pumpkin and peanut butter that came from a veterinarian's website. Crescent doesn't have any food allergies, so we knew it was safe. When Dad got home an hour later, there were ingredients all over the counter and a batch of dog cookies cooling on the stove. He picked one up and said, "New recipe?" "Dad, wait," I shouted. But it was too late. He took a big bite. Aunt Olivia started laughing, and I cracked up too. Dad ate a dog treat. His face turned bright red, but all he said was, "Interesting." While Dad started making lasagna, I put the dog cookies in a container. They did smell good. I thought if Dad could try one, so could I. At dinner, I told Dad again how great it had been to walk two dogs. In fact, it had been so much fun that all I'd been thinking about was adding another dog. Mr. Rosario, who lives down the street, has an older Labradoodle named Thor. Thor and Pixel are friends, and Thor and Crescent sniff hello whenever they see each other. Thor would be a great addition to our walks. Aunt Olivia thought it was a good idea, but Dad said we had to make sure Thor and Crescent got along. So Dad invited Thor and Mr. Rosario to our house. The grown-ups sat on the patio while I played with the dogs in the yard. The dogs got along great, but something weird happened when Thor tried to say hello to Aunt Olivia. He put his paw on her arm. Thor loves to shake, and Aunt Olivia froze. Then she quickly took a step back, and Thor dropped his paw. I guess she wasn't kidding when she said she was nervous around big dogs. Before Thor and Mr. Rosario left, I showed Mr. Rosario the list of ingredients for the dog cookies and asked if Thor could have one. Thor gobbled it up. Mr. Rosario said he'd already decided to hire me to walk Thor. He said now he was thinking about hiring me to bake for Thor. These are the ingredients in my dog cookies: whole wheat flour, eggs, canned pumpkin, natural peanut butter, water, cinnamon, and salt. Back inside, I started cheering. I have 2 clients. I'm in business. Holly said having a job isn't the same thing as having a business vacation. I said, "How would you know, Mistletoe?" But Aunt Olivia said I have what it takes to be a good business owner because I'm passionate about what I'm doing. I could tell Holly was a little jealous, but later when I went upstairs, I heard Holly in Aunt Olivia's room. They were playing with fettuccine and laughing together. I felt totally left out. I know Aunt Olivia likes cats more than dogs. Does she like Holly better than me now that Holly's a cat person? Wednesday, September 17th. Today was my day to help at Four Paws, the animal shelter where we adopted Crescent. Fiona and I started by cleaning the outdoor dog runs. I told her all about my dog walking business, and Fiona said she was proud of me. Cleaning cat cages was next, and one of the cats started meowing the moment we walked into the room. Fiona said it was Daphne, who talks to everyone. I went over to her cage, and the gray cat rubbed her face against the door and purred. Then she stuck her paw out and patted my hand. She's way friendlier than Fettuccine. Daphne has been at the shelter for over a month. Fiona said lots of people want kittens, but they're not as interested in an older cat. I'm no cat person, but I think Daphne's really sweet. These are some animals at the shelter. There's an iguana named Tiger. Daphne, and who's a cat, and there are lots of other cats. Lots of dogs. Some seem very nervous. There's a rabbit. There are 2 guinea pigs. Fiona says these have to be adopted together. They get lonely. I helped Fiona take inventory in the supply room. The shelter depends on donations to help take care of all the animals. While we were counting bags of cat litter, I realize now that I'm making my own money. I can use some of it to buy supplies for 4 paws. Then I could help even more animals with my business.